Sometimes people hear me talk about slow and they think, so you're just like after some like life of perfection. And I'm like, no, not at all. You know, in order to keep a scale balance, especially if you're walking with it and it's hanging and it has different things on it, and it's like a life of constantly taking off and putting things on, like it's a process of assessing the damage that's done, of going through hard things, walking for a season and having things perfectly moved, and then somebody changes or some life event happens and something has to be taken up and you have to find balance again. But so what I'm saying is that it's a paradox of balance. It's slow. It's supposed to feel messy. The point is to stay present through it all and to always be reflective about what it is that you're going through, about what it is that you want out of this life that you're creating, you know, at home with your families and with your children. I think that that's the point of it all. I think that we need to call hustle culture into question and step outside of that and say, hey, I'm going to slow down to figure out what speed is necessary for this season. My parenting and my homeschooling and my whatever.
Yeah, it sounds like what you're describing is like really being deliberate about your choices and things like that, so that you have some space, you have some slack in the system, right? So you can go faster, you can slower. Not like when, you know, I've worked with clients and there's no slack in their system. You know, it's going. And I really want them to just have some space, because otherwise you just can't be resourced for everything that's kind of coming your way, right? And you're describing being resourced mentally, being resourced in your heart, kind of that clear vision, having the resources to have that, and to then make your choices going forward. How do we slow down? How do you encourage people to slow down? What are, in practical terms, steps they can take to stop the relentless cycle of speeding up?
So one of the things that I feel is a direct benefit of slowing down, and one of the steps that people often move to when they say, okay, I think I need to slow down, it's trying to regain some sort of connection and feeling of closeness with their children, with their family members, with their loved ones. And so sometimes it's just creating that space and that time to be able to appropriately connect. And when I say appropriately, we are often moving alongside of our children or our loved ones, or doing things for them, or just busyness alongside of them, but there's no time for conversation. And not a conversation like, did you do this? Did you do this? Did you do this? Oh, please unload the dishwasher. Do that. You know, it's like real conversation. When you get on the phone with a really good friend and you're having a really great conversation about something, what does that look like? And what does that feel like? Can you have at least one conversation a day like that with your child, where it's an honest exchange, where there's no agenda or there's no pressure attached?